A few days ago, I came across a strange post on a Roblox forum while people were sharing unusual things they experienced in different games. Most of the stories were about glitches or random moments that didn't really mean anything. But one post stood out to me immediately. It was written by a user named Shadow Trace, and the title was simple: "There is a player standing behind you in MM2. At first, I thought it was just another exaggerated story, but the way it was written felt different. According to the user, this wasn't something that happens all the time. It only happens in certain servers, usually when there aren't many players, and most people don't notice it at all. The user said they were playing Murder Mystery 2 late at night, just casually going through rounds like normal. Everything felt completely fine at first. The roles were random, players were running around, and nothing seemed unusual. But during one round, they noticed something strange. They were hiding in a room, standing completely still, when they suddenly heard footsteps behind them. At first, they thought it was just the murderer getting close, so they quickly turned around. But there was no one there. The room was empty. The footsteps stopped the moment they turned their camera. They assumed it was just the sound glitching or maybe coming from another room nearby. But then it happened again. A few seconds later, while they were facing the opposite direction, they heard footsteps directly behind them. This time, they didn't turn immediately. They waited for a second, trying to listen more carefully. The steps were slow, almost deliberate, like someone was walking right up to them. Then they turned around quickly. Again, nothing. No player, no movement, just an empty space behind them. That's when they started to feel something was wrong. According to the post, this kept happening for the rest of the round. Every time they stopped moving, the footsteps would start again behind them. And every time they turned around, there was nothing there. But the strangest part came later. At one moment, they turned around faster than before, almost instantly after hearing the first step. And for a split second, they saw something. A player model, standing directly behind their character, completely still, facing them. But before they could react, it disappeared. Not like a player running away, not like a teleport. It was just gone. The user wrote that the figure looked like a normal Roblox character, but there was something off about it. It didn't have any animation. It wasn't moving. It was just standing there, perfectly still, like it wasn't supposed to be seen. After that, they tried checking the player list to see if someone had been standing behind them the entire time. But there was no one missing, no extra players, nothing unusual. Everyone on the server was accounted for. And that's when they ended the post with something that made it even more unsettling. They said that after that round ended, they stayed in the server and kept playing. And from that point on, every time they stood still for too long, they could feel like someone was standing behind them again. After reading that post, I didn't think much of it at first. It sounded strange, but still possible to explain. Maybe it was just a sound bug or players imagining things late at night. But something about the way it was described stayed in my head, so I decided to check it myself. I joined Murder Mystery 2 late at night, around the same time mentioned in the post, when most servers are quieter and have fewer players. At first, everything was completely normal. I played a few rounds, nothing unusual happened, and I almost convinced myself the story wasn't real. Then I decided to try exactly what the user described. I found a small room on the map, walked inside, and stopped moving completely. I just stood there, not touching anything, waiting. For about 10 seconds, nothing happened. Then I heard it. Footsteps, right behind me. Slow. Quiet, but clear enough to know they were close. My first instinct was to turn around immediately, but I remembered what the post said. So I didn't move. I waited. The footsteps continued. One step, then another, getting closer. It sounded like someone was walking directly toward me. After a few seconds, I turned around quickly. Nothing. The room was empty. No players, no movement. I checked the hallway outside. Still nothing. At that point, I thought it might actually be a sound glitch, just like I expected. But then I tried again. I went back into the same room and stood still. This time, it happened faster. Almost immediately after I stopped moving, I heard the footsteps again. Behind me. The same slow, controlled movement. That's when I started to feel uncomfortable. I waited longer this time. I didn't turn around right away. The steps got closer and closer until they suddenly stopped, right behind me. I could feel the exact moment they stopped, like someone was standing just inches away from my character. Then I turned around, and for a split second, I saw it. A player model, standing directly behind me, completely still, no animation, no movement, just facing me. But before I could even react, it disappeared instantly. Not like a player running away or leaving the server. It just wasn't there anymore. I immediately opened the player list. Everyone was accounted for. No extra players, no missing names, nothing unusual. That's when something even worse happened. I stayed in the same server and kept playing, but after that moment, things started to feel different. Every time I stopped moving for even a few seconds, I started hearing the footsteps again. Not every round, not constantly, but often enough that I couldn't ignore it. And then, during one of the last rounds, I noticed something I almost didn't catch. When I moved my camera slightly, just for a second, I saw a shadow move behind my character on the floor. But when I turned around, there was nothing there. I left the server right after that. I didn't want to keep testing it anymore. And since then, every time I play Murder Mystery 2, I avoid standing still for too long. Because now I'm not sure if it was just a bug or if something in the game really does stand behind you when you're not looking. If you want more creepy Roblox stories and mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. And if you've ever experienced something strange in a Roblox game, share your story in the comments. I might check it next.